2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Woodville or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au, or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Hands up!
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Welcome to the podcast. This is the most important podcast you will ever listen to, and I mean that when I say that. Listening to this podcast can help you live to the age of 101.
Are you still on these human growth?
If you listen to the end of this podcast, congratulations, you will live to be 101.
Didn't you buy some human growth tablets?
What?
Did you? Or you inquired about them?
What are you talking about? I've got no idea.
Come on.
I would like to declare that any medical advice given or drugs taken by me are not recommended by doctors. It's just something I do on the side.
Well, just looking at your muffin top there, you're definitely growing as a human, that's for sure.
I would like to say that this is not a product endorsement for Monjaro or hair medication or human growth tablets.
You are very vain at the moment. The amount of medication that you're on...
Yeah, but how good do I look? Do you know what I mean?
It's unfortunately not. I don't think it's working.
I think it's perfect. That's got nothing to do with the topic. Let's move on from me. If you want to live to be 101, make sure you listen to this podcast.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Fitzy, Wippa and Kate Ritchie's Singles Party.
Step onto the...
The Jackson, Sydney's ultimate super yacht for exclusive events, parties and private charters on the world's best harbour.
I'd step off if I was you.
Yeah.
Step off and let the credit get out.
My God, sorry, voiceover lady. You step onto the boat, Fitz, is what I'm saying, and you could be finding the love of your life.
Yeah.
That's how exciting it is. We're doing all the hard work for you. Vaya, who works on the show, single, ready to mingle, wants to meet the man of her dream on the Jackson, having a bit of a kiss under the harbour bridge.
She showed me that fishnet vest that she'll be wearing on the night. I thought it'd be freezing cold out there. It's the middle of winter, Vaya.
She's into it. She is into it.
And look, you know what? We know how tough it is at the moment. Who's finding it tougher, men or women, to find love in Sydney, you think?
Married men around the age of 45. Can't find it anywhere. Separate bedrooms. Doesn't exist.
I would say the ladies of Sydney would be struggling more to find...
the numbers we're looking at suggest that there's more single women in Sydney than men. And there's a lot of entries coming through, and you can register at the Nova Player. But today I want to kick off something special.
Operation Matchmake.
Operation Matchmake. That's right, I've taken on the captaincy role and I'm prepared to head out there, hit the streets and help find love. Yesterday, I tucked it under my arm and I took a photo of a man by the name of Cameron Fitz. He registered and I wanted to find Cameron a lady. Yeah. So I wanted to find some women that might be interested in joining us on the boat and meeting Cameron face-to-face in the flesh. The research showed us that we found the most single suburb in Sydney. Believe it or not.
Marylands?
Paddington.
Ah, okay, close.
They're all single. Our research showed us hospitality workers and single people live in Paddington.
Okay.
Oh, my God. So what I did, Fitz, I got a police wanted poster. And I said, wanted, and then in fine writing underneath, for love. And then I had a photo of Cameron on the wanted poster, so I was marching into all sorts of shops. Gotcha. Anywhere I could see a lady and saying, have a look at this, wanted. It's Cameron. You can have him. Well, Cameron.
Jess and Maddie are here. Before you do play your audio, I mean, what do you think of Cameron physically, ladies? Is he a pretty good-looking guy?
I think he's great.
Yeah, I think he was attractive.
I mean, it would be rude to say out of 10, Maddie, but out of 10?
I think maybe it's 7.
Right, interesting. Okay, shame you're married, Maddie. Cameron, that could have been an easy hookup with producer Maddie. That's okay. So I took my wanted poster to the streets in the hope of finding the perfect match for Cameron. Hey guys, how are you? I'm from the police, the love police. Wanting to know if you've seen this man or whether you'd like to see this man. What do you think, ladies? He's single, bit of a cutie. And my job is to find this man a date. Anyone interested? Going once, going twice, 3 times, no ladies. Girls, sorry to stop here. This is a single man who's been looking for a lady and hoping to find love on Nova's Love Boat on the Jackson.
I'm
17, all right. Cut that bit out. Hi, how are you? This man has been single for far too long, and we're doing everything we can to find him a lady.
I have a boyfriend.
Right, so, oh my God, Paul Gallen. Hi, how are you? Sushi Train. You single at all? You want to meet Cameron? No, still nothing. What is it, the shirt or the... Anyone interested in dating Cameron? He's open to any ideas. He just wants to find love. Nothing?
We don't know anything about him.
We don't know anything about him. Neither do we. That's all right. Hey, girls, this guy, wanted for love. I'm the love police. What do you think of this guy? Is he a good-looking rooster?
Seems like a nice guy.
I don't know why he can't find love.
Yeah.
I've taken him everywhere. I want him to meet people. He's coming on Nova's single-party cruise.
Oh.
But at the moment, Cameron has not found love.
Yeah.
Out of 10, what would you give him?
I reckon a 6.
6? It's a strong 6 for Cameron. Told you he was wanted. Thanks, guys. My pleasure. Absolute pleasure. I knew we were getting desperate, Jess, when we asked a guy wearing high vis if he was interested in Cameron.
Statistics show.
wasn't into it, was he?
Statistics show that you interviewed probably around about 8 or 9 people there, and you had one woman who was prepared to rate him out of 10. I don't know if Paddington is the most single suburb in Sydney, mate.
This is your captain speaking. We are doing all we can to find Cameron and everybody else that registered love, and we will not stop until you find love. Yeah. We're trying hard, Cammy baby. Don't give up. It's going to happen on the night. All right, if you want to come along to our singles party on the Jackson, register novafm.com.au or at the Nova Player app, and we'll invite more singles on the show tomorrow.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Fitz, let's talk about getting old. I want to celebrate June. A Melbourne lady, she turned 101 during the week.
Melbourne woman June Warren is today turning 101. Born on this day in 1924, the great-great-grandmother says the secret to longevity is eating iceberg lettuce only, drinking flat lemonade and never getting a car licence. And you just need to ask your husband to drive you.
Was she a rabbit?
That's a boring life, isn't it? I'm sorry. Lettuce and flat lemonade.
Yeah. And then not even doing manies because you got to get someone else to drive you, mate. What sort of world did you live in?
Hey, June, it's Friday night. Let's go crazy. What are you keen on? A bit of iceberg lettuce and some flat lemonade.
No. On the weekends, I'll go Cos. I'm absolutely crazy.
Don't you have flat lemonade when you crook?
Yeah, I thought you did. We always got served flat lemonade when we were a bit run down, or lemonade icy poles. Does that make sense? Did anyone else get lemonade icy poles when they were crook as a kid?
Yeah, still get them now.
Yeah, so do I. I love them.
It's disappointing because when you hear someone hit 100 and they get interviewed by the news, you want to hear that they're knocking off a glass of whiskey a day or their chocolate. I still have my chocolate.
Mm-hmm. I have a shot of whiskey followed by my Wheat-Bix in the morning. You want it to be really rogue. I'll have a packet of darts, 3 bottles of Jim Beam with my Vegemite toast in the morning. That's the secret to longevity.
I've been vaping for 80 years.
I spent all my money on good times and women. There's a page that I started following, and it's funny because it's called the Old Friend Club, right? And it's just shots of... It's a group of people, so they're the regular characters, but they ask different questions in a nursing home. Yeah. So they write the question on the board, and then they write the name of the inmate, and then they write their answer below. So, there's an old guy, he's holding this whiteboard up, and it says, "Last time I cried," this is from Mike, who's 92, he just wrote, "I don't remember." So he's in a world of his own.
Do you remember when we went and saw BJ's grandmother before she passed? She was in a nursing home. And I went in there and I said to the lady, can I entertain the patients in here? And
Yes.
she said, yeah, go for it. So I went on the whiteboard and we started playing hangman.
That's right.
And I started getting frustrated when 45 minutes later, they still couldn't get what the word was.
What was it?
And I'm going, you're repeating letters. I'm going, oh my gosh, Hazel, you've said A 3 times.
Hello,
and then
Ryan.
the ladies came in and said, majority of the people in here, they can't remember who their family members are.
The word was old. Next whiteboard hold up. Celebrity crush, Tina. She's 78. She loves Ed Sheeran. She's holding up the whiteboard. How to Love Yourself by Iris, who's 91. She wrote, I don't.
Iris.
What about this? How do you want to be remembered by Margaret, who's 92? Then I never stop talking. You probably will soon, Margaret.
Well done, Margaret.
What's getting you through this week? God knows. So you've got these old people at a nursing home that are angry. What's getting you through this week? Tina, who's 94, she says smoking.
Well done.
Just regular gaspers. Melanie in Wheeler Heights, hello.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good, Mel. Tell us about your grandma.
My grandma's 94 years of age, and she polishes off 2 bottles of vodka every 2 days.
What?
And I am not. We should get her on the radio. You would find her a cat.
Wow.
Yeah, she's the absolute best, and she still gets to the club for a bet. She runs for the bus. We joke that she's pickled from the alcohol, but I'm telling you, she's living a better life than anyone in her 30s.
Is Grandpa still around, Mel, or is he gone?
He's long gone. She's married 2 men that were war veterans, so she's got a gold card. And to this day, I'll tell you guys something. 3 days ago, she rang me up and I said, hi, Nan, how are you? She said, you got any clean urine? I said, pardon? She said, you got any... She was asking me for clean urine for one of my cousins.
That is
I'm not
awesome.
joking, boys. I am not joking.
Got a drug test coming up. Hey, Mel, I mean, I don't know if this is a stretch, but would you like to join us on the single cruise? We're out on the Jackson on the Harbour. Is she up looking for another man?
I'll take Nan on the cruise. Yes.
Yeah. Mel,
Let's bring her.
we would love for you to bring Nan, for sure. Bring her on the singles cruise if she can last. This is the thing. We might have to get her off on a water taxi
Mate,
at some
it's
stage.
if we can last. Are you single, Mel?
No, I'm not single, but Nan is, and I'd love to take her. And guys, I'm telling you, she'd be the life of the party.
Oh, God. Can I have the slow dance with you, Nan?
You guys can have the slow dance with her. We should get her on air tomorrow. You
What's
guys
her
would
na-
find her hilarious.
What's her name, Mel?
Her name is Lee. Oh, I don't know if I should say it on air. We'll call her Lee.
Okay, all right,
Right,
Lee.
Lee.
Maybe we could find someone around Lee's age who would like to go on a date on the singles party.
I love this. Is there anybody 90 plus who's still kicking and ready to mingle?
Has anyone got a granddad?
Anyone?
Or a great
Anyone on the team?
grandfather?
Can we line up Lee with someone?
Who would like to go on? Well, it's the best yacht on the Sydney Harbour. It's the Jackson, but we could maybe do that. That is a very slow dance at the end of the night.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. This is so exciting. Anybody's welcome. Thanks, Mel. We'll see you soon. We'll talk to Lee as well. That is awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks for calling.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Woodville or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au, or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Turnover up. New South Wales State of Origin football.
Full time, New South Wales 1-0 over Queensland.
And one man who bled for this state. Oh my gosh, the amount that he did for this state. Paul Gallen. You there, Gow?
Yeah.
Oh,
Have
Jesus.
you been punching a few Queensland supporters over in Perth? What are you doing, Gow?
No, not at all, mate. I only got it yesterday. I saw it at our show last night and straight back to bed. I actually went to the pub and had a feed. That was it.
What's your go-to counter meal, Gal, at a pub? I'm going to say a chicken parma. What do you reckon? What do you go with steak?
It's a steak.
Stock standard steak, yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Stock
big
standard
steak.
Yeah,
but
chicken parma, not at all. Not that I don't like it. I just love the steak. My missus isn't a great cook, to be honest, so I probably get to eat out.
That's no good.
So I don't mind eating out.
Gal, I mean, you've obviously had a crack at your wife this morning already in the 1 minute.
On air.
Huh?
I thought we hadn't started yet. You got me there, damn it.
Got him a beauty. Gal, if she was on the radio, what would she say that you're hopeless at around the house?
Doing anything. I don't do a lot. Yeah, so she'd have me, and well, my three daughters would back her up. So yeah, I'm not very good around the house. We have a very great working relationship.
So you're running a childcare centre together.
How are your daughters going, Gal? I remember around about 12 years ago, my son started playing with your daughter at a Wiggles concert, and I thought, don't get too close because you know what? You could get a swift little elbow to the back of the head there, Lenny. But how are the girls going? Are you in teenage years yet, Gal?
Yeah, that particular daughter is 16. Got her L's, driving around, and
wow.
Look, she's a pretty good kid. I got to say, but her attitude at the moment towards mum and dad isn't that great.
Really?
And, we butt heads a fair bit, particularly me and her. Her and mum get on okay, but me and her butt heads. But yeah, 16, mate. It's a very tough age to have a daughter.
Have you met a boyfriend yet, Gal? I can only imagine that poor bugger rocking up to the Gallen's house. Has there been one yet or not yet?
Nah, there hasn't been a boyfriend. Because there's obviously, she's human. There's a couple of boys, but I did meet one boy down the mall one day, and I grabbed hold of him and just gave him the biggest hug. I squeezed the life out of him.
Did you?
I just said, nice to meet you, mate. And that was it.
Awesome.
So, he hasn't been back around, thankfully.
He's still getting himself put back together. He's still trying to get some air back into his lungs.
Okay, we need to talk about tonight because it's massive. And I know there's been a fair bit going on during the week. Woodsy had a go at Queensland and Billy Slater for dropping Daly Cherry Evans. Then Gordon Tallis has come back and had a crack at him. There's a fair bit going on. There's a bit of feeling in the air for Game 2, Gal.
Yeah, there's plenty of feeling. Unfortunately, it's from sort of former players. We probably need the current crop of players to fire up a little bit, but I just feel it's so hard these days, social media in particular, players are so accessible these days to the public, and look, they all read the comments. Unfortunately, they say they don't, but they do.
Yeah. Yep.
So whenever someone says a little bit out there and it doesn't go their way, people hammer them and they get hold of all that, which isn't healthy, I don't think. Queensland love the positioning. They love being the underdog. They love their backs against the wall, and that no one thinks they can win, but I think it'll be a closer game than it was game one, but I still don't think they can get the job done.
Now, they deliberately didn't kick towards Spencer Luai last game. So Gal, what's your message to Queensland tonight? If they do that 2 games in a row, I think it's pretty bad by them. They're completely avoiding him, Gal.
To not do it in game one was ordinary. I was speaking to Cameron Smith about it on our 100% footy show, and I know what Mount Mink was like as a coach. I had him at Australian level, and he was, you cut the head off the snake. You attack their leaders, you attack their big guns, and you hammer them, and then the rest will just crumble around them. And for them not to kick to him game one was a sign of fear. I don't care what anyone says. They were scared. They were scared. There's no two ways about it. They were scared that if he had a big run, he'd fire up even more. Look, Spencer only plays for somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes a game, so it's not like they have him out there for the entire match.
No.
But that time he was on the field floor, they were scared. Had he dominated that first run, who knows what he could have done.
I love the sound of it, Gal.
You can watch Gal tonight, exclusive, live and free from 7 p.m. on Channel 9 and 9 Now. Gal, you are a legend from New South Wales. We love you, brother. Thanks for coming on, mate.
All right, thanks, guys. See you later.
See you, champion.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Guys, let's talk about this. If you're named after a celebrity, 13 24 10, get involved. We've got that big TV to give away. We took a caller the other day, Fitz. This was a treat.
Let's go to Mav in Caringbah.
Hey, what's your full name? Is it Maverick?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome, Maverick.
Oh, it would have been after Top Gun. The original Top Gun, Mum and Dad would have named you Mav after Tom Cruise.
Yeah, so I was born 1992, so it's around the same time.
Awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
That
Have
is
you got a mate
good.
called Ice?
Is your brother Goose there? Can we have a chat to him?
Actually, I have a brother named Cruz, so I think Mum's a bit of a fan.
Oh, my God. Put your manners back in.
I mean, it's an era. It's an era in Mum's life. She obviously was just totally in love with Tom Cruise. But you know what? 30, 40 years down the track, you sort of go, oh, Tom Cruise, he's up to his 14th Mission Impossible. Should we call the kids Mav and Cruise?
I mean, Ted, you're not going to meet another Maverick, are you? To call your kid Maverick after a character name. Do you know what? There was a girl who used to work here, Fitz, and she's got a boyfriend. His name's Elvis. Like, it's pretty
tough.
cool. I mean, I know Elvis is a name, but you call Elvis and you become Elvis. Like this, the image of Elvis is always going to be with you.
Well, Jesus is quite big in Brazil, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is Jesus.
Mm-hmm. That's massive.
Chloe in Glenmore Park, which celebrity are you named after, Chloe?
Well, my mother, who was deaf, was completely obsessed with Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
So when she had a daughter named Chloe, not even a year later, I was obviously named Chloe.
Gee, I would have loved Olivia for you. Would have you liked Olivia more or too much?
Oh, actually, I love the name Olivia, and if I was to ever have a girl, that's definitely a possibility.
Right.
Okay. But if I was a boy, I would have been Matthew after Olivia's then husband.
Right. That is hilarious. At least she didn't call you Xanadu or something.
That's great.
That would have got weird. Good on you, Chloe. Thanks for the call. Rachel in Lappington. What TV show inspired your name?
So my mum was obsessed with the TV show Friends.
Yeah.
So she named me after the character Rachel. But even my younger brother, she named him Matthew after Matthew Perry.
Oh, my God.
Saying that she didn't want to name him Chandler because,
Yeah.
Would have been a bit weird,
So she's gone one of the characters' names and then one of the actors' names.
Yeah. She loves both Rachel and Chandler, but, yeah, she definitely didn't want to, being called Chandler is a bit weird.
Oh, my God.
It was always teased for it in the show, unfortunately.
It's crazy what
Big
sort
commitment. What about, Jess, remember when you were going through your teenage years and you discovered, boys, your mum wanted to call you Samantha because she loves Sex in the City.
Of all the people to aim that joke at, the one
my
married to
gosh.
a woman. That made perfect sense. Whip, good on you.
Marty in Maroubra, your mum was a big fan of Marty Sheargold, is that correct?
Marty Higgins and Martin Luther King.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Marty the Monster from...
No, but then my dad, we're Polish, but my dad says it's after Martin Bormann, which is one of Hitler's henchmen.
Oh, my God. Okay,
man.
gone from Hitler to Martin Luther King. This is
Gotcha.
getting heavy. My
Karen,
God, Marty.
Let's go to Karen in Wollongong. Your mum a big music fan?
No. We named our son Ethan after Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah, Ethan. Great name, Ethan.
So the cruise theme continues.
Yeah, it does.
Tom Cruise has had so much influence on people's decisions for names.
There's another phoner, isn't there? How did Tom Cruise influence your life? We'll do that next week. Karen, annoying that your mum named you after...
Karen Carpenter?
After someone who just complains the entire time and cracks the poos with society.
I was born a Karen or if I became a Karen.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Have we got a Marvel character next from Enmore? What's your name?
Hi, my name's Raven.
Raven?
Yes.
From the Marvel character?
No, originally my mum called me after the little girl that was on the Bill Cosby show.
Oh. Where do we go from there?
I have no idea.
Raven Mad.
Which at the time was the most popular, funniest show going around, but now very hard to explain, Raven.
Yes.
No one's celebrating Bill Cosby in 2025. Thanks, Raven. Feel free to change your name.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Woodville or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
A couple in far north New South Wales has bought a house 9 months ago. It was their dream house. And one of the reasons they brought the house, Whip, is because they love the bamboo in the backyard.
Oh, great. What are they going to buy, panda bears or something? Or they just like that sort of eastern
it
look?
is. It is. It's got the, I suppose, have you got some Japanese music there, Jess? There's a sensing calm to bamboo, isn't
Probably
there?
more
I suppose?
Chinese, yeah.
Well, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was more sort of meditation music, looking at the bamboo while you're in the backyard doing a little bit of Tai Chi.
It would be foolish of me to sit here and be a bamboo expert this morning, mate.
But this is the thing. Bamboo grows very, very quickly, and within 9 months there was an absolute monstrosity in their backyard, towering more than 20 metres. Some of the bamboos were as thick as the husband's leg, he said, and they couldn't handle it anymore. Now, I didn't know this. With bamboo, it's really hard to get rid of because you can cut it down, but if you don't put chemicals on it straight away to kill it, like we're talking... Speed was the essence, he said. Unless you get weed killer on the cut within about 10 seconds, the wound has self-sealed and herbicide is useless. They'll start growing again in 2 days, Whip.
Think of all the small flutes you could make. Is it a wind flute or a pan flute or whatever it's called? It would be beautiful. I mean, you could run an instrument factory out of that guy's backyard.
So this is the thing. They've got to cut them down, but then you've got the roots. So now he's got to call in earth-moving equipment.
Get an excavator.
An excavator, and it's going to cost him over $5,000 to get it all removed.
That is massive.
That wasn't in the part of the house. Actually, Mum and Dad had yuccas. You know those yuccas?
Yeah, succulent.
Yuccas look great when they first start growing, but the root system is unbelievable. Well, the root system is even more complex than ex-NRL players. It's unbelievable. Like it just goes on and on and on. Like, you can't get rid of it. Costs Mum and Dad $3,000 to get rid of the yuccas, Whip.
Get out of the backyard, you yucca.
Amy in Rose Meadow, what took over your house, Amy?
So my sister had pet rats. Started out as 2. They multiplied and multiplied. They got out of their living tank area, infested the house. We actually had to move out. There were so many rats.
Oh, yuck.
Lost all of our appliances, everything.
But wouldn't the rats the rats were originally in like a little cage, yeah?
They were in this glass sort of tank,
and
so they'd multiplied to the point where there were so many that they were using each other. Oh, this is horrifying.
Oh, don't.
To climb out of the tank.
Oh,
Amy,
I reckon our whole family has PTSD from
Amy,
that.
at what stage? I mean, when you realised they were having babies and maybe, I don't know how many are in a rat litter, I would assume there'd be heaps of them. When they did that for the first time, did no one say, hey, guys...
No, I did.
Yuck.
I was mortified at the thought of even having them. Like, no offense to anyone that loves pet rats, but yeah. No,
yuck, Amy. I prefer a ferret.
Did anyone read that article yesterday of the rat lungworm?
What is that?
So that's a new disease which goes in rats, but also snails and slugs have them. There was remember the guy as a dare ate the slug a few years ago?
He died.
Yeah, the rat lungworm was in there and he passed away.
Amy, thanks for your call, Samantha. Besides the bank, what took over your house?
I have a major wasp problem, so you walk out the front door and you get swarmed by about 5 wasps. We have hedges surrounding the entire property. We're on about an acre, and they're all through the hedges, all through the roof of the house. It's out of control.
Oh, so that's pine, obviously.
Yeah.
See, the thing with wasps as well, once they go, Samantha, and they communicate with each other, there's Sam, guys, she's having a crack at us, they tell all the others, and they are on. They'll just keep biting, multiple stings.
Samantha, and you know those little, what do you call it, a little hive that they make?
Yeah, they've got them everywhere.
They're really hard to get off when they're fixed to the surface, aren't they? I tried to scrape some off windowsills the other day.
Has anyone seen the viral videos going around with the glass when you put a bit of petrol in there and you put it up on the nest?
Well, don't do that. I'll blow the whole house up.
Well, it traps them all in there, but then it kills them. But this is the thing. There's been a lot of videos of people not trapping them all. So you get some of them and the rest get out and they're just attacking the person that's trying to kill the nest.
Ruby in Ryde. What do you got in your backyard? What's going on, Ruby?
We noticed all these holes dug up in our backyard, and when we went to investigate, there was actually like a little burrow, and the rabbits had used
their own fur to cover it. And when you looked under, it's like tiny, cute little babies, and their eyes weren't even open. And we've got a problem around Ryde because I think there used to be like domestic rabbits that have all gone free.
Right,
But there are a lot of rabbits just around our backyards and everywhere.
Oh, my God, just digging and mating, Ruby.
The bloody
I don't
bunnies.
mind the babies, but yeah, the holes around the backyard are a bit of a problem.
Yeah, don't worry.
Like rabbits, mate.
Well, that's why Rusty went in, because there's a bunny's bloody problem around the NRL at the moment.
Russell's rabbit removal. He'll kill anything.
Dave in Lane Cove, what's taken over your joint, Dave?
Look, mate, I wish I could say it was rats or rabbits or wasps, but it's family members in our joint.
How many?
Well, look, we have my brother moved in. We're in a two-bedroom apartment. My brother moved in, and then he decided to bring his girlfriend in. And as soon as he moved out, literally the day he moved out, my sister-in-law moved in.
What?
And we had to get rid of her because we were bringing our own kids into the house. So it was a bit of a takeover of the family members.
Dave, how many kids have you got?
We got 2.
Oh, my God. That is a
Dave.
mess.
It's the worst.
Look, it was a good fun, but it took over a bit.
And nobody wins there.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
It is unbelievable the money that the Trump family are making from using their father's power. Right, okay, so we've spoken about this before. This is the stuff, since he's been in office, that the Trump family have wheeled out there, and they're making millions of dollars. There's Trump-branded linen and bedding.
Billions.
There's gold-plated flatware and porcelain dinnerware. There's MAGA-branded glassware and snow globes. There's watches, there's sneakers. Actually, let's talk about the watch, because remember the Trump watch?
Yeah, we went through that, the gold watch.
Yeah, and a guy bought it for his wife. He thought it'd be a great birthday gift, but it didn't arrive like he thought it was going to.
Get your Trump watch right now. Go to gettrumpwatches.com. It's Trump time.
Pettit bought the watch after hearing an ad like that one on the radio.
With the president's voice hawking the watches, and I was curious, so I went onto the website.
GetTrumpWatches.com. Pettit picked out the pink inauguration First Lady model.
It has the pink and it has little fireworks on it.
Melanie Pettit likes the style, but it's what this watch does not have that makes it stand out.
I noticed it right away. The T is missing. It just says RUMP.
So it should say Trump.
Should say Trump.
Instead,
it says rump.
She has a $640 rump watch.
Awesome. Just awesome. Do you know what? I'd love to know who's managing the Trump gift shop.
Well,
it's extraordinary that you can have, you know, those catalogues that used to come and they're just full of junk, but you could buy it and you'd write in your credit card number and then you'd get a subscription and it was a cheap gardening tool or something. They would have a gift shop like that. Like, how far does the range go? What do they got?
And Eric Trump, his son, runs this all. They're making millions. There's also there's Bibles you can buy. There's they've got their own cryptocurrency we know about as well. They've brought out a smartphone.
What do you mean?
A case. Trump Mobile. And you can buy phones from Donald Trump now. So this is his son, Eric, talking. Now, I want you to listen to the last sentence on this and why these smartphones are different to all the others.
And now we're doing Trump Mobile, and Trump Mobile is going to revolutionize cell phones, mobile calling. We're going to do it better. We're going to do it safer. We're going to have more functionality, more features. And the coolest thing about all these ventures is we're doing it right here in the United States. You're not calling up call centers in Bangladesh. You're doing it right out of St. Louis, Missouri. And you're going to have phones that are made right here in the United States of America.
You are going to have phones that are made right here in the United States of America.
Wow.
A few hours later, Eric then went on a podcast and was talking about, and someone asked about making the phones here in America.
You can build these phones in the United States. Our customer service is in the United States. It's in St. Louis, Missouri. We can add more functionality. We can do it cheaper. We can do it better. And eventually, all the phones can be built in the United States of America. We have to bring manufacturing back here. And so our ethos is, build for Americans, by Americans.
Do you know what?
Wait up. I just need to... Eric, say that again about being built here in America?
Eventually, all the phones can be built in the United States of America.
One key word there.
Eventually. So obviously the media's got onto it. They will be built in China initially, but eventually they will be built in America, everyone. That's why they're better.
Do you know what? There are so many companies, and there's one bedding company in particular. On their website, it says, made in Australia. So what it is, they get the parts from China, but then the bed
put it
is
together.
Yes, and that's why it's made in Australia.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
It was quite sad, Brian Wilson passing away last week from the Beach Boys. Can I give you a Brian Wilson story? Because a few have been coming out since his death.
Please, mate. I watched a documentary on the Beach Boys once, and I was amazed. I was amazed how they got to a point in their career where they went, we can't find any other place in our brain to write more music. And then they found LSD.
Oh.
And they went, hang on a minute, we have untapped something here. We got more in our head.
I saw a talk show the other day. It wasn't Brian Wilson, but it was another member of the Beach Boys, and he couldn't keep his head up. He couldn't talk in the interview. They were off their heads. This is an amazing story because we talk about Brian Wilson being one of the lyrical geniuses of all time, and his music. Paul McCartney says God Only Knows is the greatest song ever written.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Which is unbelievable. There's another guy. I want to talk about Don Henley. Now, Don Henley is from the Eagles. Don Henley's not bad himself because he did Hotel California. Can I tell you this? The top 10 selling albums of all time. The Beach Boys aren't in the top 10. But I can tell you this, the Eagles have 2 albums in there.
Wow.
So Hotel California comes in at number 8, and coming in at number 7 is their greatest hits.
Yeah, I bet.
Which was, how's this, Whip? Both albums were brought out in the same year.
Were they?
So the Eagles brought out Hotel California in 1976.
Yep.
And then in the same year, the record company said, why don't you bring out your greatest hits? And that sold 42 million copies. The Eagles, the album Hotel California has sold 40 million copies.
My God. Is Thriller still on top?
Thriller's on top. AC/DC's Back in Black second. Whitney Houston and various artists. The Bodyguard comes in at number 3.
Wow.
Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon, number 4. Anyway, Don Henley loves Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson performed, and Don Henley asked, can I please go backstage and get Brian Wilson to sign my Pet Sounds album? I think it's the greatest album of all time. Brian Wilson took a Sharpie from his table in the dressing room, said, hi, Don, thanks for coming in. And he wrote on the record to Don, thanks for all the great songs, Brian Wilson. Don was so grateful. It was almost like he couldn't talk. He said, Brian, you are such an inspiration to me. He turned to leave, and as he was just about to walk out the door, Brian Wilson said, wait a second, can I have the record back? He crossed out the word great and wrote good. And had a bit of a smile on his face. And Don Henley just looked at him and went, I'm still happy with that.
I'll take it.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Woodville or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au, or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.